Hey, what's up? I'm Hype. I play games, make games, and everything between. And today we're gonna make a simple, hyper casual ball game with random obstacles. Most of the time when it comes to game development, I'm just trying to figure out one step at a time. But today, with the power of editing, I still don't know how I'm gonna make the game, but I have no doubt I'll figure it out. I'm a little cold right now, so flat out. Coat, still a little bit cold. Now I'm kind of feeling like a garden gnome, which is a good default Halloween costume, but we're not there yet. Today we are making a simple game. We're using hypehype, the dope app that lets you make and play games all on your phone. I'll be using a tablet today. The game I was playing yesterday called Ball Rush. Love the concept. In this game, there's 6 different obstacles that all rotate while the ball is spinning. This ball is a dynamic ball, and the point system is made up by each time you hit a ramp, but we will create a time system in our game. I'll probably make the ball a little bit smaller and maybe add some more colors. But I really love how this game plays and feels with the touch control button. When I hit the remix and turn the logic on, there is a lot going on here. I'm kind of getting overwhelmed, so I'm just going to start a new project and refer back to this when I need to. Some things to notice is here is the UI. And once the UI hit play, then these buttons become active. Let's go take a look. I kind of want to make it a little synth wavy, cyberpunk. Let's turn the logic on. One of the first things I want to do is I want to change the ball. Now, there's cooler balls out there. So maybe a spike ball, is that too punk? The ball is dynamic. Let's add some button controls and maybe that UI start. I don't use the UI node that often. This is me trying to use it more often. I really like that play and go feature. However, I don't like that you have to touch specifically that button. I would prefer that you be able to touch anywhere. But maybe I can build that in. Let's move this ball to 0, 0. It's like this, and I want this to say play. So let's get some buttons in the game. We'll have a left button and a right button. Half screen vertical and half screen vertical. Right now we can see the buttons are being activated. I'm gonna turn those off so that we don't see the buttons. Here, we're gonna select the UI, play on start. First, we're gonna disable and then play on start. We'll enable. Let's check the camera and we're gonna set this ball as the target. We'll have keep behind. And let's build out this a little bit more. Let's get some vector transforms for the ball. Now, this vector transform is on this ball. We're gonna turn it off because we want it to turn on when the player hits the button. To do that, we just do what we did before. Execute on, and let's see how it looks. Cool, it's moving. We need to add a vector transforms, duplicate. Let's label this too, because if you want to be able to remix this in the future, I tried with the labeling. So we'll call this one move -Z, which is forward. This will be move +X, and this will be move -X. So we're going to turn off the enabled on this, so you'll see that they're gray, but what we want is this button on start, activation enabled on, and then on end, activation enabled off. I'm going to do this for the left and the right. On start, activation enabled on end, activation, oops, we did not want execute, we want activation enabled off. Special thanks to Cypher Vest, as this is being built while I look at how he did Ball Rush. That is one of the great things about hypehype, is they make it easy to remix a game, recreate everything, helping you, me, anybody that wants to make games, animations, creations, do it all on their phone or tablet. I set up the buttons, but I didn't set up the movement. So we're gonna have it set to be loop, and we want X of -0.2, duration 0, looks good. And then on the move +X, we want 2, duration 0. Okay, I put the debug on so we can see. Okay, I'm gonna add another vector transform, and this will be for the rotation. Here, I'm setting it to rotation X of 8, duration 0.01, I'm not exactly sure what this is going to do, so we're going to test it and take a look. And activation enabled on. Okay, it looks kind of good. We need the move -Z to be activation enabled on. And then we enable it off like that. This is why the buttons didn't work. I did not have the target set to the object. This is a good lesson to bring up. Anytime you're dealing with a blue node, it generally needs to be attached to either the object or where the object is supposed to be, the location of the object, like spawn over here. I make this mistake all the time, and apparently I'm still making it, but that's okay, because when you make a mistake, these are really good opportunities to learn, at least for me, because I keep making that same mistake. So try to find the positive in the mistakes that you make, because this kind of mental taekwondo fortitude will help you keep going and become a better developer and, good person. Okay, so it's working, but we changed the camera, so let's go back here. Taking a look at the camera settings, and what was it? Keep it behind. The camera is not working, but that's okay. We solved one problem, and now we got another. So when the button's not doing what you want it to do, check to make sure it's connected to the camera. Okay, so the left is super whack. Let's check that out. And that's because we got -2, and we want -0.2. Okay, the left button looks to be working, but the right button looks like the loop isn't on, and that's what it was. Cool. Now we want the ball to rotate. Alright, so it's the X, and let's try 8. Alright, so the camera is moving, and we do not want that. Let's try fixed. Okay, fixed is what we want. I'm going to do reset view, and we're going to go ahead and zoom it back a little bit. 2 fingers pinch, and let's do set camera, and then 2 fingers pinch. And make sure that is on the 0 coordinate. Cool. Let's go ahead and increase this. Okay, next we're gonna set up the different ramps. Now I've never done this, and I'm literally just looking at how it was done in Ball Rush. So let's test this to make sure that the ball is moving and it's rotating. Next we're gonna take this, we're gonna duplicate it. Okay. And the nice thing about Cyberpunk theme is we can keep track of how big this square is. Right now it's a 6 across, 15 long. Make this an unmovable object. As an object, we'll make it light blue. Let's go ahead and take this, hit duplicate, and let's go over here. And now we're going to set up different obstacles and things. Okay, so this one is 6 by 15. Let's go ahead and grab a container. These will be reusable objects. Okay, I'm gonna grab the box with the edge color. So I can't put the tile set in the box, but I can put this cube in there, which just have to set this up the long way. You know what's a good one? Snap the edge. Duplicate, 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 duplicate. Now let's make sure all of these have the correct physics, which is unmovable object. That's a static. I'm gonna take this and I'm just gonna erase most of it, and we're gonna try to duplicate and get to the end over there. There you pick, duplicate, 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 duplicate. Oh, and then we can select all these, duplicate, duplicate. We want a 6 by 15, so let's go ahead and take this, delete that. This is the tile set. Tap and hold to select or deselect multiple items. Yeah, and then this up here. For our first object, let's add a ramp. Why not? This is kind of too big, it seems. Let's create this set unmovable, and we want to also put this inside. There we go. So select and show. Oh, what is this? This is just, it looks like none of these objects are in this container, so we need to remedy that. We're gonna have to do this one at a time. That's fine. Better to figure this out now than later. We're going to be reusing this for all the different stuff we're doing. I'm not going to put the ramp in yet. The downside is this does take time, and it's important that you don't mess up. The upside is you can do it all on your phone or tablet. You don't have to code. Once this is set up, I'll be able to use it for everything. I like to call this the wax on, wax off work. When learning anything, there's always a discipline. Oh crap, I just lost where I was. I'm gonna hit undo. So it was this one, okay. No matter what you do, there's a discipline required in all things. Instead of wasting mental energy, wishing you didn't have to do something, take all that energy and just focus it all on what you're doing. To be precise, intentional, this will help you focus. Time seem like to go slower or faster. Being able to focus one's mind is generally a difficult task. But if you can do it, then cheers, putting in the work. Okay, so now we got this. This is great. And we're gonna go ahead and this is, call it road A. Let's take this, hit duplicate, copy this container, and now we got road B. Let's take this bad boy, put that in there. We can have it like that. I'm gonna make it more like this. I think it's cooler. So I think I'm gonna take this, duplicate this container, and see if I can't move it over here. Okay, where we at? Now we need a random node. And we'll set this to be minimum of 1 and maximum of 2. The dice is going to roll. It's going to be a 1 or a 2, aka road A or road B. And we also need an interval because once it's activated, it'll need to be activated again and again and again until there's a game over. But then we'll also need the objects to be destroyed. So I'll figure that out later. If you create an object, you're gonna want to destroy an object. Otherwise, the memory space will cause the game to crash. Okay, so we got the random node. This is on start, minimum 1 or 2. We're going with integer. And then each of these options, road A and road B, will have a spawning node and a compare node. Now I'm not sure if you can, crash. And I'm just gonna quickly hit the save button. Let's zoom out, turn the logic on, and hope everything is over here. Okay, cool. Thank you, hypehype. Like, I have developed games in many different ways over the years, and hypehype is good with just keeping things still there. When you're making games, something will always happen, and sometimes you have to start over. Right now, I'm just grateful that I don't have to restart from the very beginning. Okay, compare node, and I'm not putting the spawner node in the reusable container because it was not done in Ball Rush, which is what I'm using as my template. I've done this setup before in other games, so this is a really good mechanical setup when you want to have multiple options, do multiple things. For example, this value B will be 2, and let's go ahead and grab these and duplicate, move them over here, and this value B will be 1. So if the dice rolls 1, so if this is true, spawn, execute like this, and here we're going to do spawn object to spawn. Let's set this to road A, and then spawn at. The spawn at will need to always be moving because the ball is moving. Alright, well, let's set this, if true, execute spawner object to spawn road B. Call this random road generator. We'll have the interval set to ½ a second, set it to loop, on time, execute, and on random value per link, value A. It should say compare value A. Yep, that looks good. And then here, there we go, that compare value A. So every ½ a second, one of these should be spawned. But what I don't yet know is how to have it spawn always ahead of the ball. Let's test it. We'll slow the speed down and see the ball is moving. Oh, you know what? We don't have it spawning. Yeah, let's have it spawn all the way over there. I want to select the random road generator so we can see what number is randomly spawned. We hit the debug. Okay, and we can see every 5 seconds it looks like something is spawning. We hit play. It doesn't look to be spawning where we need it to be. And then at the same time, we want it to spawn always ahead of the character. Oh, okay. In the ball rush, it looks like there's an object and it spawns every 0.18 seconds. Okay, let's go ahead and delete that. Let's go over here and grab the container. I want this cube. Okay, removed. So now the cube has been removed from the container, delete the container, and we're just gonna go move this guy over here, unmovable object. So let's go over here, add a spawner and a interval. This is really good practice for me because I don't use intervals that much, but clearly I need to use them more often. So this interval is looping and going off, let's say 0.15 seconds. So every 0.5 seconds, execute, and let's go to the spawner. So we're gonna do offset by 0.001, and object to spawn is this, and spawn at here. Okay, did I not turn something on? Whenever I'm developing a game and I'm hitting frustration points where things are just not working the way I would like them to, I'll make small changes that I know I can do. That way, it kind of like tricks the mind to keep on going. Let's take a look. Here we have the random node, which causes the interval to activate every 0.5 seconds. And this compare nodes tests all the numbers 1 through 6. They all go to this object. Wait, there's something going down here. What is that? Is this what I was missing? This is exactly what I was missing. Look at that. And it is a crash. But that's cool. Found out what we were missing, and now we can hopefully add it to our game. Let's go here. Close that. Okay, now we need another vector transform. This one has a z of -5, and we might need to change that number. Duration of 0.1. We'll do move on start loop, and yeah, let's test it. Kind of, sort of, not really. What are we missing? Oh, I didn't connect anything. That was a test, and if you saw that, then you're paying more attention than me. Okay. We're definitely getting closer. For some reason, this ramp is working, but causing it to spawn to the left. Put X of 2. Okay, I set the offset to 2 to kind of make it move a little bit more to the right, which I think worked. But I also suspect that they're spawning at the same time. Okay, so this is road B, but then when road A spawns, road B also spawns, which is not what we want. So integer minimum 1, maximum 2, loop every 5 seconds, equal to 1, less or equal to 2. Okay, so we want them to be only equal. Okay, so there's that one. Okay, for some reason we have to do an offset of X of 2. Not exactly sure why. And let's go in here. Duration, let's do 0.05. Let's see how that looks. Maybe I can make this invisible too. Actually, this needs to be 2.5 X offset, and let's make the duration of every 0.35. And I'm trying to lessen the gap. Looks good there. Okay, I think we just need to go ahead and maybe go over here. And let's paint. It's a little bit off, but that's okay. I don't think anyone's gonna notice that. We got 2 objects. Save it. New thumbnail. Now I got road A and road B, and I can even have it set up so road A goes like 80% of the time, and road B goes 20% of the time. And I plan to make more roads. This is looking good. One thing I would like to add is a jump. We're gonna go to the ball and we're gonna add a collision detector. Let's make it yellow. Go over here and make this object yellow. Grab a force, have it pointing up. Cool. Collision, execute. With the blue node, we need to make sure that it's connected. Perfect. Look at that. Okay, so maybe not a force of 5, but 3. Okay, I'm happy with that, and I want to do some more finishing touches. I plan to work on this tomorrow, add more levels, But before I do, let's just add some more particles and some cool stuff. Let's go here, object, particle effect, turn the executing off because you only want it on when it's activated. Otherwise, particles are just on. You can do smoke puffs for now. Okay, that's not exactly the particle I want, but I realized what is more important to me is having a leaderboard. So let's do that and then we'll call it a day. Now there is an end system over here. So let's hit show and we need a text, we need a time, we need a leaderboard entry, we need broadcast listeners. So the first thing is we go to the time. This is the time, format 0.00, center top, looking good. Then we go to the timer and turn off executing, stop at end time, we don't need that. Output equals value. Now the timer is being displayed. We got the UI on start, execute the timer on, and here we're gonna have game success. So this is an endless game and eventually you're gonna hit a wall or something and that'll be the game over. This broadcast listener is listening for game success, and leaderboard output entry to the leaderboard, which is just a score, and we want to turn that to be a gray line. Red lines are active, gray lines are inactive until something calls them to be active, which is what this is going to do on game success, signal activation, on signal receive, execute. I think that's game over. So let's add a collision in the broadcaster. Collision will be red, game success. Collision with the red broadcaster, execute, which is the game over. And let's make this object red just for testing purposes. So instead of jumping, it should be a game over. Cool, yep, looks good. So let's change this back to yellow. And game success. This one, enable slow motion. I'm a fan of slow motion. So we have a good setup, and tomorrow's live stream, I'll be able to make these road A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I'm excited. Yeah, I've been wanting to make a game like this. The great thing about hyper casual games is you can start simple. You can start with the ball, you can start with one or two obstacles, and each time you make a game, you want to get a little bit better, try to do a little bit more. But I love the basics. Basic, simple balls, spinning. Biggest step to making a game is make the game, complete the game. So many games never get finished, never get completed, and even today I had issues. I didn't know what was going on, but now we're done, and tomorrow I'm going to try to do a little bit more, and the next day a little bit more. This is how I like to make games. If you would like to see the first game I made with hypehype or any other games, check out these links or my hypehype playlist. Until next time, I'm Hypesy. Stay safe out there and peace.